Hello everyone, this is Gary204 here, and welcome back to another Minecraft Model World update video. In this update, we're going to be going ahead and covering everything that's new in the latest download for version 2.6 of the world. And this world now is going to be available for both Java and Bedrock. So if you're interested in downloading for Bedrock too, you'll follow the same process as for Java. There'll be a download link down in the video description. And also the pinned comment, you'll go over my Planet Minecraft and you'll be able to download a folder which will contain both files for the world. So you'll just have to pick and choose whichever one you need for your system, and you'll be able to download it. So very excited to finally bring this to Bedrock, because I know a lot of you guys have been asking for it. I don't know how good it's going to transfer over. There may be some discrepancies and stuff like that with some things. So just make sure that let me know if there is any issues with the download, as I do not have the Bedrock version of Minecraft. So I only have the Java, so I'm going to kind of rely on you guys a little bit to let me know if things are working or not. Anyways, though, with that out of the way, I do want to cover the overall world changes. The first thing is I did do some quality of life things, like changing the name of the Russian/Soviet aircraft signs to specify its NATO nickname. So, for example, it used to just say flanker in quotations, but now it says NATO flanker. It's a small little update, but I just felt it was a little more clear on the actual name of it compared to maybe the Russian nickname that they have. I've also updated all the train tracks for all railway builds, so there's not that many on this world, but they did update them, adding some gravel and just kind of making them look a little bit more realistic. And then I've also moved all the World War II rail cars from just the standard ground section with like our tanks and stuff to the back section to the oversized area where we have like the Gustav railway gun you can see in the distance and stuff like that, just to make things a little bit nicer. I felt the cars looked a little out of place where they currently were. Maybe so that's it for the overall world changes. Let's go ahead and dive into all the new builds on the world. So for our first section here, we will be going ahead and talking about our World War II German section. This area here has absolutely exploded, and it was mainly because I've been interested in building some World War II vehicles from Germany, because I think they have some of the coolest looking ones, but also the fact that I do have that German airbase series that's going on right now. So a lot of the builds from that German airbase are being brought over and put into the model world. Just to have them here kind of like safekeeping. Now, what we have basically going on here is we have our first kind of additions here. This is going to be the 7.5 centimeter Luchs Infanterie. I completely butchered that, I know, but it's basically just a 75 millimeter field gun that the infantry would use. So be able to roll it up and use it kind of just like a small howitzer. So very simple, cool build. We'll see this again later on another vehicle. Now next to it, we do have the 5 centimeter Pak 38 anti-tank gun. So this is just a 50 millimeter anti-tank gun, very commonly used by Germany. Looks pretty sweet. And again, for both these, we have both the deployed and like a towed version for it. So you have both options there. You can attach it to different vehicles and stuff and create some pretty cool scenes out of it. As we go down the line a little bit further, we have our line of Panzer IIIs here. And I went through and built pretty much all the Panzer III versions in War Thunder, so that's kind of why some of these are probably pretty familiar. But we have the Panzer IIIe, which looks really sweet here. So awesome looking build, and a lot of these are very similar in terms of how they look. But right next to it, we do have the Panzer III Offs B, which was the early version of the Panzer III. So it's got a little bit of a different design there for the road wheels and stuff like that, but still a pretty cool build. Next to it, we have the Offs F. So this was the F variant. And then next to it, we have the J version. So again, very similar. I think the main difference here is you're going to have that little bit of that back portion there to kind of support a higher power gun or ammo loadout. We also have the J1, which has the long barrel gun. So this is the 50 millimeter long barrel gun there for the Panzer III. So very nice. And then right next to it, we have the Panzer IIIL, which had a little bit more armor on the front there of the turret and around it. So very cool stuff. And then we start getting to my favorite versions here. This right here is the Panzer IIIM. So has a little bit of the shielding around the turret there. Really cool looking tank there. So very happy with that. And then next to it here, we do have the Panzer III Offs N, which was the short barrel kind of field gun type version. Has the side skirts and all that. Looks really good. And I just love these two later versions of the Panzer III. I think they came out really good. And of course, they have the little machine guns up on top there and all that as well. Then after that's done, we do get into our half tracks here. So we have quite a bit. I did do a whole dedicated video to these half tracks. So if you do want to see a little bit more in detail about them, definitely look at that video. You have your first one here, your one. Then this is the 1.2, so this is basically like a modified version to have these rocket pods. We also have the 1, but this is the OFFS D, so that right there is the OFFS A, and then the OFFS D, which is a bit of a different look to it. We have the /2, which was a mortar version. We have the /3, which was a command version. We also have the /4, which was basically like a tractor, a field gun, or a gun tractor. So you can see here we have our howitzer and then our Pack 38 here attached in kind of a toad-looking design there. After that, we then have the /5, which was a engineering vehicle, and then we have the /6, which was the command vehicle. We have another engineering vehicle at the /7, and then the /8 here was a medical version. So we have the OFFS A version and also the OFFS D. So just a couple different variants of it, but looks pretty great. Then continuing on, we have the /9, which was basically like a little howitzer mounted onto it. We then have the /10, which has this autocannon on it, or this I want to say it was like a 3.7 centimeter gun, but just a very light powered gun there. Then we have the /11, which was a telephone cable lane vehicle, so it has like this like mast to help string up telephone lines. Kind of an interesting, very little known vehicle. We have the /16, which was a flamethrower version, so it had 2 flamethrowers there mounted on the sides. Next one here, we have the /17, which I think was a command vehicle, but it also had like this 20mm autocannon on it, which was kind of cool. We then have the /18, which was the artillery spotting vehicle, so it had this little platform here and would help spot for artillery. We then have the /20, which was a searchlight variant of the half-track, which was actually designed to work with the Panther IIs and their infrared lights and stuff like that. So it's designed for basically night combat operations. Then we have the /21, which was basically this really cool anti-aircraft one that has like this twin or this triple-barreled machine gun mount on top there, again for anti-aircraft. Then we have the /17. This right here did have a Pack 36, basically anti-aircraft gun. So we have the kind of towed version, or the stowed away, and then you have the deployed version right here, which has the gun out to the side and the sides folded down to allow the gun to rotate and do its anti-air stuff. And then right next to it, we have the /22, which was a self-propelled gun. This was the 75mm gun mounted on the half-track. And then lastly, we have the /23, which was, again, kind of a command vehicle, but it had like this like enclosed top and this turret on top there, which looks pretty cool. So those are our main half-tracks that have been covered in videos. And again, there is a dedicated video to all these. There is one other one that's a little bit different here, and this is going to be the SDKFC 251/1 OFFS D MIT Apex XF term. So this actually used the turret from, I believe, a FCM 36, and they mounted it on the top here, so it was kind of a field modified one. Sometime from like the invasion of France, they basically just took one of the turrets from a disabled tank and put it on top there and created this monstrosity, and it is absolutely glorious. I love it, and it hasn't been posted yet on Play on Minecraft, but I guess it is available for download in this update. Next up, we have the 88cm flak 18/36/37, however you want to call it, but this is the anti-aircraft version here, so it doesn't have the gun shields, but you have the version with it facing straight up like this, and then you also have the straight on version, and we also have the towed version of it as well. So this should be coming pretty soon as a tutorial for you guys, as it is a pretty iconic weapon. Then we have the 150cm searchlight. So this is just a giant searchlight system. Again, a very big build we're going to be using on the base quite a bit. And then right next to it, we have the searchlight power generator. So this is just basically a generator on wheels to power the searchlights and stuff. Next up, we have a bunch of our Opal Blitzes. So we have the cargo versions here. So we have just a standard Opal Blitz. You have a covered one, another one just kind of without the cover, and then just a flatbed version of it. So some very cool models there of the Opal Blitz and all that. And then we have the ambulance version. So we have one with just a all white back to it, and then one with just like a gray with the white markings. Looks really good for both those. And again, just some really nice builds that are going to be used around the airbase. We then have some fuel tanker versions. So you have the more iconic fuel tanker version here, followed by one which looked like more like a civilian design, but I went ahead and kind of militarized it a little bit, and I think it looks pretty cool. It's my favorite of the fuel tankers I have done so far. And then we have the other one here, which again was a actual military version of the fuel tanker here with this trailer and all that stuff. So these are really nice fuel trucks to have around your base and maybe crane some convoys and stuff like that. So a lot of good stuff there with the standard German infantry, or really just the logistical truck that they used. We then have the Luftwaffe bomb loader, which is kind of a cool little build here. So it's like this cart that they could pull around that would carry these bombs. So really simple. We have 3 different versions here, just straight on. It like raised up like that and stuff. So it's pretty cool, and just a simple little bomb loader that they would be able to push around and stuff. And then right next to it we have the Hanomag SS100, which is just a wheeled tractor. So this is just a tractored vehicle they use to tow stuff around. And that is going to be it for our World War II section. Let's go ahead and move on to our French section. Back here in France, we do have the SDKFC 251 with the Apex X F term. So this one here is basically captured by the French. So the French captured back their modified vehicle that the Germans were using. But this here just has a little bit more of the camouflage on the turret and some of the French markings. So really nothing too different from it, but just a different vehicle to have in our lineup. For our Modern Warfare section, we have a new build added into our Russian section. This here is going to be the BMP-2M. So this is available as a separate download and play on Minecraft, but yeah, just the BMP-M, which is very widely used today as a infantry support vehicle or infantry fighting vehicle. So very cool stuff with that. It's got the tow launchers and stuff like that to both sides, and came out really good for this build. And that's it for our normal size section. We're going to move it back to the oversized. And moving back to our oversized section here, we do have some new builds added in for both the US and the Russians. First off, right here, we do have our missile battery system, which was designed for these Tomahawk missile launchers or cruise missile launchers that are built out of like these cargo containers. They're a really cool and interesting design and idea. They're modular and allows them to be pretty much, converted for whatever missions they need, but mainly like the main missiles, like the Tomahawk missile, which is pretty interesting. But right here we do have the Battery Operations Center, or the BOC. This right here is just your command version of the vehicle, so just has this kind of empty trailer here, or real plain trailer that would basically form as the command center. Then right next to it we have another version of the trailer here, which has these mass deployed and all that. I think this one right here might be a little bit more for like target acquisitions or something of that sort. But yeah, really cool versions there for it, and these would basically target and help control the missile batteries and all that. Then right next to it we have the Mark 70 Mod 1 PLS, which is what the official name is of the actual missile system. This right here is just the closed version, so nothing's popping out of it or anything like that. And then right here next to it, we do have the actual deployed version here, where we have the missile launcher erect, and it has 4 pods for Tomahawks or other various cruise missiles that it can carry. And then right next to it, we do have the kind of the the ammo transporting reload trailer. So this here is just a standard tractor trailer, U.S. military design here, and has these pods here that would be basically lifted up and reloaded into it. So again, very similar to that of like the Patriot missile system, where it's just kind of a modular design where they can just drop a pod in and pull a pod out, and makes the reload a little bit quicker and all that. So very cool stuff there for it. Really awesome missile battery, and there'll probably be a dedicated showcase on this a little bit later. Then next up here, we do have some vehicles that have seen full showcase videos, and every one of these trains here has had a full showcase video, so if you're interested in those, definitely be sure to check those out. But these here are our armored trains that have been used in the Russian-Ukraine war by Russia, and this here is the first train, Amur, which has this cool camouflage on it, but is one of the early armored trains that Russia fielded. Very cool stuff. Has this twin ZU-23-2 gun car here. Just overall a really cool looking train. Then when we have the next one next to it, which is Yenisei, which is one of the more iconic ones. It actually has the the BMP 2M actually on it, which is really cool, as well as some more of the anti-aircraft guns and machine guns and stuff. So very heavily armed version. It has the armored actual locomotives as well, which is pretty cool. Then behind it we have Volga, which is one of the more recent trains I've completed, and there's going to be one more that I have to do. That's one of the main 4 that's being used, but Volga's kind of cool here. It has like a black color scheme or a very dark gray. But yeah, it looks really cool. Absolutely love these trains. They came out awesome, and yeah, it's just really cool stuff. So very happy to have these added into the world, and they're definitely something a little bit more unique than what we have been doing. With that, though, that's going to cover everything for our Modern Warfare and World War II ground section. Let's go ahead and dive on over to our aircraft. So our World War II section here for Germany did see some additions. This is going to be the Ju-87 Stuka, in a really cool kind of two-tone green color scheme. Love the way it came out. Looks fantastic. And we have the one on the bottom here, also the landed version, which I think is one of the best landed aircraft I've done so far. This thing looks super clean and came out really good. This is available for individual download, but it is also on the airbase as well and being actively used as one of the main aircraft on there. So just a really cool build, and just absolutely love the way it came out. So definitely think this is one of the highlight builds of this update. But yeah, looks really great. And that is it for our World War II section. I'm sure this is going to be expanding quite a bit more for Germany as we get to the more portions of the airbase. But for now, that's it for this section. Let's go ahead and move on to our Modern Warfare section. Moving into our Cold War and Modern Warfare aircraft, we have our first build here, which is the EC-121 Warning Star, which was one of the first airborne early warning systems that the United States Air Force used. I believe the Navy also used this as well. But yeah, this thing just is super cool and is based off a very early airliner. Has this cool like 3 vertical stabilizer tail design, which is cool, and it has these huge radomes on it on top and the bottom. But yeah, just a really cool aircraft and came out really good. It was a fun build, definitely challenging with some of the shaping and stuff like that for it, but I think it came out really awesome, and it's just a super cool build. But that's it for the United States. Russia has got also another early warning aircraft design. This was more of a prototype, but this here is the AN-71, known by NATO as the Madcap. It's a very cool looking aircraft with these top mounted jet engines, something a little bit more unique. And then it also has the radome on the top of the vertical stabilizer, which again is also a very unique design. Very cool looking aircraft. Again, came out really good. Has the iconic gray, white, and blue Russian markings, or Soviet, I should say, markings here. But again, this was more of a prototype aircraft by Antonov and was never fully entered into service. But still really cool build, and there are a few examples of it still existing to this day. So yeah, we have the AN-71 Madcap. Now we have one of the nations that has seen the most growth for our aircraft section here, and this is going to be the United Kingdom, or England. We have the Handley Page Victor B2, which was a strategic bomber for him and later aerial refueler. This here is an aerial refueler version, but just because it has the refueling pods on the sides there, as they started to repurpose these bombers for less bombing, but more like aerial support and stuff like that. So this is the B2 version, so this is what they, kind of like their pinnacle design here, or the last version that they had fully in production. But yeah, it looks really cool and came out awesome. I love the intakes on the wings. Then right next to it, we have the B1 version, which was the original bomber design. So this one has a bit more of a different design here. It doesn't have the fuel pods and stuff like that in the wings to carry extra fuel or the refueling capabilities. It's just strictly what it was designed for, to be a bomber. And yeah, it just came out really, really good. And then right next to it, we have the Vulcan. So this right here is the B1 Vulcan. This was the original design of it. Again, as a strategic bomber, it was one of the more interesting ones with the Delta wing design, I believe is what it's called. But yeah, I had this really unique wing design here for the aircraft. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful aircraft, and came out really, really good. So we have the all-white version here. That's the B1. And then right next to it, we have the B2, which was the later version of the aircraft. Has the iconic Falklands War color scheme or camo. Has a little bit of a bigger wingspan than the other one. And a little bit of a different cone section there on the back. But yeah, just really cool aircraft. I absolutely love the Vulcan, and very happy to finally have a new design for it after so long. And then right next to it, we have my first time ever building the Vickers Valiant. This is the B1, which they only really built the B1. But this was, again, a bomber that they also later configured into an aerial refueling aircraft. But it was one of the first of the V bombers to get fully put out of service. But yeah, really cool looking aircraft. Came out really, really good. And very happy with it. And again, in the Falklands War color scheme. And with that, we pretty much have all of the V bombers from Britain. So very happy to have those finally all together in one world, as I never built every single one of them. It was always just two or just one of them. So now we have all of them here together. And the last build we're going to have in this update is going to be the Tu-162, known as the NATO codename of Moss. This here was a airborne early warning aircraft for the Soviets, so having the very sleek all gray design there, very similar to that, like the Tu-95. But yeah, just a sleek aircraft design. Has the 8-blade turboprops here in the front, which looks sweet. The big radome dish on the back here, and just the iconic Soviet markings on it. And again, this is a Soviet era aircraft that served for quite a bit of time, if I remember correctly. But yeah, just a really cool early airborne early warning system for the Soviet Union. And with that, that's going to conclude everything in this update. And with that, that's going to cover everything here for our Model World Update version 2.6. Hope you guys did enjoy the little video there. And if you guys did, be sure to leave a like and let me know what your favorite vehicle added into this update was. Overall, a lot of really good stuff added in, and a pretty good selection of vehicles. Hopefully we'll have a bit more diversity in the next update, but still some really good stuff to enjoy for everybody. But anyways, though, that's going to wrap up everything we have for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 204, and I'll see you guys next time.